Welcome to the Dawg's Table. Hosted by Craig Fountain and Jared Fatty Bates. Get access to special guests, anyone can join the Dawg's Table. Find the link to join the show in the comments when we go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope, and everywhere on the Big Play Network. Here's your hosts, Craig Fountain and Jared Fatty Bates.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Dawg's Table. And you know something? After a 14-hour day at work, there's nothing like talking Browns and a Browns win. And I have a very special guest joining me today. As you all know, Craig is out for right now. Craig will be joining back here soon. I want to give Norman, who was right here in the comments already. Norman, happy birthday, brother. Your birthday was this week. Also got to give my dad a very special shout-out, even though he's a Steelers fan. Sorry about that one. We'll talk about that one, special guest, when you come on. But my dad turned 70 years old today. So I want to say happy birthday, old man. I love you. And I got my brother-in-law, my other Ginger, here right now in dog check. So we are primed up and ready to go for another Cleveland Browns win. But joining me now, my special friend. I love him. He's been one of my dearest friends ever since I started all of my podcasts with the Legal Ham and the Dawg's Table. And I said, hey, bud, I need a fill-in tonight. Can you do it for me? He says, you know, I have got your back. From also Big Play Network, the voice of the land, Kevan Arnold. What's going on, big guy? And you're muted. Let me unmute you real quick.
I got it. Don't worry.
Okay. Now
I got it from my end. Don't worry about that. What's going on, big guy?
Oh, not much. Just another Browns win, buddy, and we're getting ready to get into it here a little bit. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go.
You know, this feels weird because I'm on the other side, so I got like a whole bunch of stuff I got to click and do, and it just feels weird. I mean, we need to find a Peter. You think Peter will take care of us from LPV Productions?
Oh, I'm sure he would.
Of
course, he's been like calling off of work or taking half a days on Tuesdays now that he's got Padone and Phil Taylor with their BetJack.com show, sports parlor, you know.
Get out of here.
He was training somebody else to do that. So if his Tuesday nights open up, you know, maybe we can get him for you. We'll see. I'll talk to him for you. I know a guy.
You know a guy? So for you, those of you that do not know Kevan, he is host of the Voice of Land podcast with Nick Paulus. But this year, Always Positive Jay is joining you for the Brown season because Nick is doing ESPN Cleveland stuff, correct?
He's got some sort of thing going on. I don't know, some sort of excuse not to be on the show. You know, it's all
That's
right.
right.
I drive the ship anyway, so it's all right.
Well, he does the post game on Sunday nights, and normally it's 7 o'clock. Sometimes it's earlier, and sometimes it's later. I give him crap when he goes earlier. I'm like, what are you doing? I can't even watch right now because I'm playing pool. So.
Well, you know, sometimes you just gotta get to a concert, a country concert. You know, the wife is trying to culture me a little bit, you know?
I understand. She needs to. Jana, get a hold of him. All right, needs a little seasoning on that.
Give it about 2 minutes on the delay. If she's watching right now down the hall in the apartment, she'll hear it.
Oh, she'll start giggling. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
So the Dawg's Table is a round table forum. Anybody can join the show. I just put the links up in the comments. If you guys want to come on and talk to me and Kevin about the Browns' spectacular 14-7 win against the Minnesota Vikings, or if you just want to, vent a little bit about how bad the offense looked, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But first thing we got to do is you got something going on over there.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear that coming through? The sirens?
5-0 trying to catch you riding dirty?
Apparently. I closed one window. Apparently, it's like magnified in this apartment. I don't know. I guess we'll try to close the other one. We'll make the sound better here in a second. We got sirens going by here like all day long. We got a train, railroad track just down the street from us. Her mother's already going to come stay with us. She's already saying, I'm not going to get any sleep before they have to go to the doctor the next day because you guys got trains. You guys got sirens going on all the time. Like, I don't know. This is a city I grew up in, and yet there's more sirens than I ever remember in my whole entire life.
Oh, yeah. I got my mom has chimed in now. Mom was watching the show. So say hi to my mom, Kevin.
Hi, Jared's mom.
So we got to get into the Browns game, but we won, but on a somber note. This week, one of your colleagues, I never got to meet him, but from everybody that I've been in touch with that has known him, just amazing guy. And if you want to speak a little bit, because his wake was today, correct?
His wake and the funeral service for Matt Lodi, who had been in the business for 28 years, known him the last 3 years. He was the director of the sports emphasis program where I got my degree and started this whole journey of trying to get into sports talk and sports journalism at the Ohio Media School. He was in charge of the program. He gave me my first professional opportunity writing-wise for covering high school football the fall of 2018. And then in 2019, I got a chance to cover the Cleveland Indians. And yes, I'm still going to say Cleveland Indians for right now, just because, at that time, that's what their name was. And I'm going to kind of call them that until my grandpa's 95th birthday. He's the reason I'm a big Indians fan, a big baseball fan. So I'm going to kind of honor him through next Wednesday, October 13th. He turns 95, a World War II veteran. So I feel indebted to Matt Lodi for giving me those opportunities, but especially it meant a lot getting a chance to cover a team that I had watched for so long and holds a special place in my heart for more reasons than just being a big sports fan in Cleveland and a big baseball fan. So, it's a sad day. It was tough to put words together, but on my Twitter, you guys can kind of see it in my handle there at Kevan7. I did it in my notes section of my phone. I kind of wrote something out, so I have some words up on my Twitter about that. We got other stuff to get into, but if you guys want to check that out, go ahead and do that. But tough day. Unfortunately, due to some work circumstances, I wasn't able to make it out. But I'll try to go see him where he's at, and thoughts, prayers to his family, his friends, and his colleagues. I know a lot of people showed up, so. And to his wife, of course. It's just, it sucks. Cancer sucks. Losing people that you love sucks. It's never easy, but he would want us to keep doing this kind of stuff. Yes, he was a Steelers fan, but he loved all the Browns talk and the back and forth and everything. And he would tell us right now, you guys are trying to make your way. He was all about trying to get the new up and comers into the business too. So he'd be like, you know what? Go do your thing right now. You got to grind. You got to go to work. You got to do your other shows and stuff. Do it. Do all you can and just keep after it.
The reason why I brought it up is we had on our show, Legal Hand to Face, Mike Holzheimer, who has been on our show multiple times. Matt reached out to him, and he started writing for Matt for NEO Sports Insiders, and also had a few publications there with the Sports Illustrated. So we had some very nice words. I mean, I've never met him, but from everybody that I have talked to, just being due to this, everybody says he is just absolutely amazing.
I mean, the most genuine, loving, kind-hearted person you'll ever meet, and that's not just for what he did to help young people like myself, like young up-and-comers into this business. It was just life stuff too. You could talk to him about anything, and when he had the cancer and due to COVID, not able to go see him as much.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about him a lot over last week, and but going to carry on and celebrate his life. I'm going to carry on, and we're going to carry on his memory, his work ethic, even more so than we ever did, and just carry on living life to the fullest as he did every single day.
I understand that. I think he played a trick on us with the last game, though, with the wonderful 14-7 win over the Vikings. Like it's not that it's just like you sit there and look at the score and you're like, nobody predicted that score. And I know this is a horrible transition to that, but I'm horrible with sad news because I
know
it sucks for me.
Everybody deals with it differently, but he may have tried to put a hex on Baker or something like that. I've been cautious of kind of doing my back and forth with Steelers fans on the show when we do our Around the League segment on Voice of the Land now. I was very, very respectful of that, but I have to say, because I'm sure he would love the back and forth.
Oh yeah,
the karma came back when the Steelers got their third loss of the season, so their third straight loss, and now are 1-3, and at the bottom of the barrel in the AFC North. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to be very respectful the rest of the way for that. So
I won't be. Wait till later. Hey, this is my show, my forum. I'm going to say what I want to say.
I know.
So, we're going to do the recap here a little bit later. Let me bring Norman in. Norman, it was your birthday this week. Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, how old are you now? What are you, like 27 years young?
Wow. Thank you. I really do. If you're serious, I really do appreciate it.
Does this face not look serious to you?
Like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. But just so everybody knows who happens to be watching, I just turned 58.
That's amazing, bud. Congratulations, bud.
Happy birthday, Norman.
Thank you.
So your birthday was what, Thursday? It was over the weekend, wasn't it?
Saturday, October 2nd.
Saturday. Happy birthday, brother. That's awesome.
Thank you. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to our other guests. Your grandfather was a World War II vet. My grandfather, who's passed, was also a World War II vet. And all of the baseball games I went to as a young man were in Cleveland at Municipal Stadium. So that was my introduction to the Indians, even though I'm one of the ones who's actually happy for the transition to next year when they're called the Guardians. But I was listening to your story and it was getting me right here because it was just so similar. You were talking about how your grandfather served in World War II. He introduced you to the sport of baseball, and more importantly, got you to be an Indians fan. Same thing happened for me. So, hey, brothers from another mother.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. I mean, he's part of the reason I'm trying to get into sports talk industry and, kind of got my foot in the door in one of the radio stations at ESPN Cleveland right now. But he's the reason, because he listened to 850. He listened to Bruce Drennan, and he was the guy that kind of got me into all that stuff. So I owe a lot of all of this to my grandpa, and it's going to be special. My sister comes in from Seattle next week. So really looking forward to Wednesday next week.
Oh, so, Mr. Drennan. I wish he would put some stuff out on YouTube.
Yeah.
I miss seeing them when I get a chance to catch them on the Big Ten network channels, 610 for DirecTV users.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then I'll look up and catch them on there. And most of the time he's talking baseball because he's big into baseball.
Oh, he's huge.
But he does cover all sports, so every now and then he'll talk about Ohio State or maybe one of the schools in Ohio. And then, of course, he'll talk about the Browns. So whenever he's doing that, I always relish if I catch him on air and get to hear his insight on the Browns.
Well, you're in Arizona, right, Norman?
That's correct.
He does. So if I remember correctly, he does. Is it a Saturday? Is it a
Uh,
Friday night or Saturday on ESPN?
It's both. So I think they release it on the landondemand.com on or like that streaming service. They release it on Friday night, and then they play it Saturday morning as part of their like lead up to everything. So all bets are on is what he's calling that. And of course on Bally Sports he has his Drennan Live that transitioned from all bets are off when he came back into the TV spotlight at least.
So there's a couple other ways you can catch him.
Okay, I'm gonna just have to do a little search and maybe have to just program the DVR. That way I won't miss them.
Yeah, well, the Bally Sports thing is tough. I mean, unless you're regional with the cable, you got to get the app for Bally Sports. But if you got if you know your login and stuff, download the app and or go to ballysports.com, log in through your cable provider, and you should be able to catch it that way too.
Okay. Yeah, because I do get Bally Sports on the TV. It's just a matter of catching him when he's on the air.
Yeah. Well, you're out in Arizona, so I think he's, I want to say like 4 or 4:30, so 1:30 your time, 1 or 1:30, right. So it's middle of the afternoon for you guys.
Okay, perfect.
We have another person in the dog pen. We have my buddy from Kentucky. Justin Masters is joining us. What's going on, Jay?
A whole lot. How's it going, everybody? Happy birthday, Norman.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to the show.
So while we have all you guys on here, I threw out a Twitter poll before we get into the recap of the actual game. I threw out a Twitter poll of let's I'm sorry, I'm on the other side. I got videos and stuff that I have to play.
I can pull it up for you.
Can you too? Oh, you're on that side, aren't you? You sneaky. I keep forgetting we use the same service.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I just keep forgetting. So our weekly Twitter poll, which is not sponsored yet, so if you do want to sponsor us, give us a message. We would love having you sponsor our Twitter poll. But I have to put this up here. So the Twitter poll of the week was: chalk this game up, a win is a win, or do you want to see more from your Cleveland Browns? Because this was kind of a lackluster performance that they put out there. I mean, a 14-7 win. It was 11-7 at halftime. So there was no firepower, which most people thought. And the reason why I put it out here is because, yes, you just want to win. But the expectations for this team is not just to win. So that's why I kind of phrased it this way. So, Kevin, I mean, let's go to you. You're a special guest here. What do you think? Do you just chalk it up as a win, and let's move on to the next week?
Well, I know the results was win is a win, but I voted need more. And honestly, it's more so from the offense and especially Baker Mayfield. However you cut it, whether it's the brace from his injury or, he's going back to trying to force things to Odell, or it's just a bad day. It was a bad day. It was a terrible day from your quarterback. He's going to need to be accurate as we have seen him. You have confidence he can because he's shown it. And when you have success, makes it easier to have that kind of confidence in a guy to come back the next week and do those types of things, but need more because you can't always rely on the run game. At some point, there's going to be a strong defense you go up against that's going to be able to at least hold down the run game for a good portion of the game. And if they have a good offense like the Chargers do, they could get out to a big lead if you can't keep up. So this team needs to get back to showing that they can have those run and gun, big time scoring type games, and you're going to need Baker to throw for over 300 yards. Defensive wise, you can't ask for much more. Just looking for more turnovers from them.
All right. What about you, Norman?
Okay. I'm going to hit on a few points. The first one I want to jump on is what I have been posting on Twitter and all over Facebook. This narrative about chemistry between Baker Mayfield and OBJ is a false narrative, okay? Because OBJ is not the only one running patterns out there for Baker to throw to. And in particular, because last Sunday was really most problematic the offense has been in the last 2 weeks, okay? He missed a lot of people. I mean, he was like 50% completion percentage. Am I correct? Like 30 attempts and 15, 16 completions. So
Maybe
the
even
most
lower than
graphic
50.
misses were 2 misses to OBJ, one of them which could have been an easy tippy toe touchdown. He had one for Swartz where he split the defenders and was ahead of him. If he dropped it into him, that would have been a touchdown. And actually, the only time I really yelled at the TV is when he got out of the pocket, was looking for somebody to throw the ball to, and there was Demetric Felton, who, smart rookie, he ran out and then he checked the down marker. If you notice, I saw him, at least to me, I thought that's what he did. He did a quick look, saw where the down marker was, and then he stepped back while facing Baker to make sure he was over the first down and said, like, okay, when he throws me the ball, I won't have to run for the first down. I already have the first down. So if I get hit and go down, I will accomplish my mission. And Baker didn't throw him the ball. So I was kind of like, dude, don't try to run it. Throw him the ball. Don't take those hits. You already got a, ding in your shoulder. But I want to tell y'all something. The key to his problems, coincidentally, everybody, started when Wills got hurt. And as we all know, painfully too well, in 2019, what was going on Baker's blind side and how did it affect his play? Kind of seeing that again. He's already been hit like 8 times? Is it?
You also got to factor in the dislocated shoulder also.
And I'm not discounting that. I'm not discounting that. Because first of all, I've never dislocated my shoulder, but I hear it's painful, it throbs. Okay, even though once you get it back in, but I'm going to say this part just to be fair. And I hear you, because that's all I've ever heard from people who dislocated their shoulder. They say it sucks until it heals. It sucks. But I will say this: they haven't put him on the injury report for that, so I don't like to bring that up first.
Oh yeah,
as a possibility.
But are they hold on? Are they actually going to put on the injury report for their starting quarterback a sore shoulder? Because if they do that, everybody's going to start hitting him high and go after his shoulder. They're not stupid for not putting him on the injury report.
Well, if you hit a quarterback high, you run the risk of getting personal foul.
Well, that's normal. Tom Brady ruined that for everybody.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it might not be worth it, because if you don't put them out of the game, then you just moving the Browns offense. That's just helping them out. So I don't think they really want to do that. But the other thing is, if a player is injured, the teams are required to stipulate, like what it is and where you're gauging their injury at. So they would have had to make it known. So if they feel like that's not really bothering him, it's just a ding, like a bump, and he's not really injured, then they're not going to put it on there, because of the fact that, well, like you said, there might be that one person that's thinking, I'm going to try to hit him in his side, see if I can't make that shoulder act up a little bit. So
are you for win is a win, or are you for need more?
I'm always a win is a win. And I'm going to tell you why. When the Ravens, I'm trying to eat and I'm making myself sick saying Ravens. Hold on a second. Damn. When the Ratbirds with Trent Dilfer went to the Super Bowl and won, was it Trent Dilfer and the offense, or was it Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and the rest of the defense? So if there are some games that are ugly because the offense isn't generating highlight plays, angry runs, toe jag swag plays, touchdowns, and that kind of thing, maybe just enough to get a win, because bottom line, 1 point is all you need in your favor. One more than the next guy, however which way you get it. And I will tell you something else too. Even though there was some questionable calls in the fourth quarter by coach, and we probably get into that later, I like the way he attacked scoring. He took every little opportunity he could, like when they scored and they had the penalty, and he was like, "Oh wait, I'm gonna go for 2," because I was thinking, "Go for 2. You're gonna be at the 1 yard line."
Yep.
Sure enough, he did it, and they got it down excellently. Then
He's done that. He's done that multiple times though. So for him to get down there, if he gets that extra yard, he's taking it.
He said, "I'll take it. I'm going for 2." And as it turned out, that was a good thing. That got us a point ahead. Okay. And then McLaughlin, who at the beginning of the I should say during the preseason training camp or whatever, man, was getting so much hate. It was like, I don't even know why these people are hating on him. I said, he just he hasn't really kicked enough yet for you to hate on him yet. And the dude is coming out here now. I see people posting stuff like, "Oh, is he the next Phil Dawson?" And I'm like going, okay, still too early for that. But the man is not missing. He's kicking 50-plus yard field goals. He has become a special teams weapon. And he was working for us. So that's how we got to 14 points. And the way the defense was playing, I was still sitting on the edge of my seat, but I still felt like this is our game to lose, not the Vikings game to win. And we won it. So yeah, I don't care if we win. I don't care if we win ugly all the way to the Super Bowl. The bottom line is win. Al Davis said it best. Just win, baby. That's all I care about.
All right, Justin, what about you, bud? You just win, baby?
A win is a win. I mean, how many years have we looked at the team and been like, man, I wish that was at least close.
Yeah.
I mean, really though, and offense wins the glory, but defense wins championships. I mean, like you were saying, Norman, with that other team that should have been us.
Mm-hmm.
They won with defense. I mean, really, aside from maybe, I don't know, Tampa Bay last year, who has won with offense?
Hold on, Tampa Bay won with defense last year. They shut down Patty Mahomes.
Did they?
They shut him down good.
Okay.
But the one I want to bring up, so Emmanuel Maxwell says, I love Browns wins, but definitely need more. We're not the same old Browns anymore. Our expectations no longer win as a win. I agree with that, but also I look at it this way. You look at a Super Bowl, doesn't matter how you win the Super Bowl, as long as you win the Super Bowl, right? So
Because
at this point in time, exactly, that's what we're looking for. At this point in time, that win catapults us a little bit closer to that game.
Yep.
And
the only thing I'll say is, and I like to try to keep as realistic as outlook as I can, because I love putting on my orange and brown sunglasses every single Sunday like everybody else. But trying to look at it realistically, that not every game can be won that way. And it's so much easier. I love winning. I love Victory Mondays. I celebrated yesterday. Don't get me wrong. A win is a win, and you love being 3-1 at the top of the AFC North, tied with everybody else. But in order to win consistently, you're going to need your quarterback to play better. You're going to need that offense to play better and score a little bit more to give that defense a little bit more of a break. They looked winded at the end of that game. You don't want to wear them down so quickly and have bad habits get into those rooms. So it's a whole lot easier early on in the season. After a win, let's correct what we did, and that's what we can trust Kevin Stefanski for, because what one game looks like, the next game never looks like that. Or one mistake that's made, one big mistake that's made from one game, it doesn't translate to the next. So just making sure that, we don't ever want to see that. And Baker knows. Baker said he was piss poor. So, the only person that can change it is Baker. We'll hear from him tomorrow, but he plays better, and we have faith that he will. I have a feeling that there's going to be a little bit of a different Baker. If you listen to him tomorrow, you might hear a little chip on the shoulder Baker again, that swag full Baker that we were so accustomed to early on in his career.
I want to piggyback off of what you just said, because I noticed with Baker. Every time he gets a so-called prime matchup, quarterback to quarterback, his game elevates. He had a good game going against Patrick Mahomes. It was only those second half turnovers that actually cost us the win. Okay. But last year, his matchups with Burrow, especially that last one when we actually had to come from behind to win, it's just something in him. It's just like the switch flicks. Either if somebody disrespects him before a game publicly, or he feels slighted, or he feels like he's being, like dismissed. Like there's only one good quarterback in this game, and it's Justin Herbert. Yeah, I hope he hears that all week long.
Oh, he's
Well,
going
I
to.
hope he hears that all week long.
He's going to.
Because his mentality is just like LeBron. LeBron used to be like, "What you say about me? Next time you see him on the court, you ain't happy. He happy, but you ain't happy." And that's how Baker's mentality is. So, hey, I hope all the hate gets out there. I hope they talk more about Justin Herbert and how great he is, and the fact that he broke his rookie record, even though context, gentlemen, context is everything.
Mhm.
Baker played 3 less games when he broke the record.
Yeah.
So on the pace that he was going, Herbert wouldn't have broke his record even with a full season. But hey, it's in the past. It's in the past.
Take all that hate, Baker, and instead of responding to it, you can listen to it all you want. Instead of responding to it on Twitter, on social media, take that right arm, let it load all the way up in there, and just let it rip on Sunday afternoon in LA and show them why you are our franchise quarterback.
God, I can't wait for you guys to watch Fatty's Hot Seat. Like, I'm so pumped right now. I want to do Fatty's Hot Seat now, but I can't yet. So, Justin, I want to flip a table. Like, I'm just ready to go. So, Justin, what's going on? Like, okay, so we had the poll, which we've gotten off the poll for a second. So, what do you guys think the poll was? Like, obviously, win's a win, as everybody voted. It was, what was it, 83-17 was the Twitter poll. I understand all that, but the one thing I do got to bring up is we have talked all about Baker. We have talked all about Odell. We have talked about all this other stuff. Our defense was absolutely amazing. And it wasn't like a little bit like I watched right at the beginning. They drove down, scored a touchdown. I'm like, oh, this is about to get real. Like shit's getting deep, and I need my boots. And next thing I know, they locked everything down after that. The front four got pressure anytime they wanted to, and then the back end did whatever they wanted to. So, guys, let me go Justin first. Justin, what did you think about our defense on against? I mean, it was unreal, right?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see it down here in Kentucky. I couldn't find it on the TV, so I was listening.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I was listening to the radio though.
When he's in close to northern Kentucky, which I call Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And they probably had the Jaguars game on.
Yeah, we get Cincinnati or Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's why I call Detroit too. Toledo is Detroit. There's a couple borderlines that we kind of just like cross over.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, God, Cincinnati. But you didn't even get to watch the game. Did you get to listen to it on the app?
Yeah, I did. I did get to listen to it.
The best two calling the game.
Oh, I'm telling you what. And then that 2-point conversion, I loved that. I absolutely loved that. And then every time he goes for it on 4th down, I love that. It just shows confidence in the team, and it tells everybody we are not the same Cleveland Browns that your daddy grew up with or whoever.
And it doesn't let the defense relax.
Right.
Because if it's like, I think he actually went for one time 4th and 7. But I mean, if it's 4th and 5 or less, and we're on the opposite side of the 50, or if it's just we got to score, he just don't play. He like, I know these guys. I trust them. We're gonna execute this play, and to me, the more he lets his team know that he believes that they can complete these plays, that percentage is going to go up. I think they're at 50% right now on fourth down completions.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think they're at 50%. So that's significant. But the one thing I tell you, besides Baker, getting his footwork right and making sure he's doing his reads and not necessarily getting panicked about his surroundings. If we got to find somebody to man left tackle until Wills is ready. So if Hubbard's not ready, and I don't know why Hudson wasn't out there the first time and they put Hansen out there. No disrespect to Hansen, okay? Because I'm pretty sure as a backup guard, he can get the job done. But
some guy named Blake, you mean? That guy named Blake?
That guy named Blake.
But at tackle, because now he came in on the first play and got Baker sacked right off on the first play. For Hudson, the worst thing he did when he finally came out there is he did a false start. And it wasn't his very first play, but he did do a false start. But I watched him. He was doing good, keeping people away from Baker. And he looked real strong, pulling and blocking. One of those runs, he pulled to the right over there by Conklin, and he was running through the hole. And I swear, it looked so. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. It's like the defenders got out of the way when he was running through. Like, y'all don't want to block him. He was just like he was doing wind sprints or whatever back in Berea, because nobody got in his way. And I believe, I can't remember if it was either Hunt or Chubb, but I think it was Hunt. But he just ran right behind him in the alley, and he wasn't touched until they finally put like 2 or 3 people in front of Hudson trying to stop him. And then Hunt goes to the sideline side and try to, complete the run. But that dude's athletic. He's fast. And I'm hoping that they're getting him prepared in case Hubbard can't go. And get him out there, because he needs more reps. And I feel like when people kept saying he ain't ready, he looked kind of ready. Yeah, Sunday. He looked kind of ready.
One is different to bring a guy like Hudson in when it's just in the spur of the moment. You don't know if Wills can keep going, and he drops out at a random time during the game. Versus let's see tomorrow what Kevin Stefanski says, because what they did with Odell in week 2, what they did with Greg Newsome this past week, he came out and said like he's not going to play. Like they already had that plan in place, so they have the guys in practice that are going to play, and they're playing around. And we have like the best 2 line coaches in the league right now. You have the best offensive line coach in Bill Callahan. So he can get him ready. You saw what he did with Wills when they were all virtual in a COVID year. So you can being able to be front and center with him, he can get Hudson ready. Just like our defensive line, they're always ready. And after the first 2 games, Miles and Malcolm Smith, I know Malik Jackson talked about it. They came together on Thursday after their pass rush third down day at practice, and they're having these 15 to 20-minute meetings now, and they're finding ways to kind of relate to one another, finding that chemistry, because Miles even said, we don't have time to waste to get chemistry. You're seeing it, and boy, those 2 Maliks are maulers. Talking about that defense, those 2 Maliks in the middle are maulers, and they don't care if they get the sack. They don't care if they get the tackle. If they push the offensive line back enough going 4-on-5 and help their teammate get a play, the unselfishness, the culture that's been built here is just spectacular.
So did I hear right that they would – so Malik Jackson, just sat there and goes, you know something? I'm trying to get mine. Mine is mine. All this other – he goes, I started realizing mine isn't mine anymore. As long as I can lapse the middle of this pocket, the 2 outside guys are going to get home, and that's all we need, which is amazing.
Either the 2 outside guys or JOK is going to come with that speed up the middle. So JOK has been spectacular as a rookie, but that also translates from those two defensive tackles helping him to find those gaps.
Absolutely.
Justin, and we got another guy in the dog pit. Manny Maxwell is joining us. Thank you, Manny, for joining us. What do you want to talk about the defense?
Absolutely, Jared. Thank you so much for having me. I just want to talk about this quick stat that I thought was crazy. So we actually rushed Kirk Cousins 22 times, and 16 of those 22 times came with only rushing the first 4 guys on the defensive line. That is insane to me that we can rush the quarterback with only 4 guys. And now we have a defensive line for the first time in a very long time that we can trust, that's just not lawn furniture out there. Like we actually have a defensive line that we can trust. So I'm so pumped up. I just wanted to come on here and say that. This defense looks amazing. I know Justin Herbert just had 2 sacks last night. I expect fully for him to be very aware of this defensive line moving forward. And I'm very excited for Sunday. Go Dogs.
So, hey, stick with him for a second because I love what you're – because this is the way that defense was supposed to be set up. Right, Kevin? It was supposed to be getting pressure with the front 4 and let your back end with JOK, with Delpit, with Harrison, with John Johnson, Troy Hill, with all these weapons that you got on the back end of this defense. This is how this defense is supposed to be set up. And you know something? I think Myles Garrett calling the defense out and calling himself out, saying that I have to do better. I got to beat 3 people. If I beat 3 people, that frees up other people. And like Kevin, you said, the way this team chemistry is starting to come together now, especially on the defense, is unreal because they're starting to trust each other. Yes. They're starting to go, you know something? If I do what I do, I know somebody's got my back here behind me.
And that's going to what will carry us into the postseason and into a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you're not gonna hold every team to 6 or 7 points because this is a passing league. This is a high octane offense type of league now. But you can trust this defense to make those big plays when necessary and get off the field on key third downs.
Yes,
man, getting pressure with those front 4s, you said, Manuel. I mean, it just helps every single level behind it, and then you can bring those design blitzes and they hit home a lot more. Because the offensive line is now so focused on just defending 4 with their 5 guys. Now you're bringing one guy off the edge as a cornerback or a safety from one random spot. Their heads are spinning. They're on their heels, and the quarterback just has no time at all. Like Kirk Cousins had no time after that first drive.
So, Chris brings up great comments, Emmanuel. Herbert has to deal with a much better secondary this week. Absolutely. And speaking of secondary, for Greedy Williams to come in and step in the way he did, get the pick, and play like a badass, I am so happy to see that, especially after the year that he had to go through last year with a nerve damage, with everything else, and then coming to the coaches this year going, all right, I know you drafted Greg Newsome. I want to do anything I can to help the team. Played special teams. Played nickel packaging. He did anything he could to help the team just to get on the field and play. And then he comes out and just balls out the way he did. That's amazing. And you want to get into the Dogs of the Week, guys? Because I got 5 guys here, and let's get into the Dogs of the Week. You guys ready?
Ready.
Go for it.
All right, let me get the and there. Now, first off, our Dogs of the Week is always brought to you by City Dogs of Cleveland. And we are giving away 3 spots tonight for the Mac 4 Butts Mac and Cheese Tailgate with Top Dog Tailgate and the City Dogs of Cleveland, which I am a guest judge for. Also, we're giving away a special guest judge spot later. So please, if you're coming to the game against Arizona, all right, Mac for Butts is going to be going on from 8 o'clock until 3 o'clock, and the mac and cheese contest starts at 11 a.m. All right, so that's when the mac and cheeses are coming, and we're going to start eating up. They're going to have prizes, 50-50 raffles. I will be there. I think a few other people from Big Play will be there. I think Jay's coming too, right, Kevin?
I would think he would be coming. Depending on when I get up, I might be able to make it because, I have my other job responsibilities, kind of getting out and helping promote for the radio station. But with the game being at 4:00, I start a lot later into the morning instead of getting up at 5 a.m. like I have the last 2 home games. So all part of the fun, all part of the journey.
So we are giving away the one special guest judge spot is going to be a trivia question. All right. It's my choosing, so it doesn't matter. So if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But the other ones, it's a $20 donation is what has been given to the City Dogs. So you're pretty much joining us to have fun, and your $20 donation is already taken care of for the City Dogs of Cleveland. The Dogs Table and Illegal Ham to the Face are taking care of that for 3 people to come. So that's $60 going to the City Dogs of Cleveland. Also, another $20 and a special guest judge who will be joining me live on our show. So, can't wait to give that away here in a little bit. But our dog of the week from City Dogs of Cleveland, Aruba. Look at this beautiful girl.
That's a good-looking dog.
I know, right? While Aruba conjures up a tropical paradise, she is not a phone. She's a staycation kind of girl. She doesn't like to travel. But she's sweet, low-key, chunky monkey. She's happy to trundle around on walks, spend a little time. Look at that Browns little bandana she's got on her.
Oh, yeah.
You got to love that. She is housebroken, we believe. She is well-behaved. Yep, she is 5 years old and 56 pounds. If you would like to meet her, there is the website right there at www.tinyurl.com. Be a City Dog to schedule a meet. And if you need to get a hold of City Dogs of Cleveland, there are all there. Let me get rid of the comment because, Chris, you don't matter right now. It's for the dogs. And I got to get rid of the banner now because it's for the dogs. So, City Dogs of Cleveland, you can find them at City Dogs. You can find them on Facebook. You can also call that number. You'll get a hold. Also get a hold of us here at the Dogs Table and also Legal Ham to the Face. And we will hook you up with their info. So, boys, let's get into our Dogs of the Week. And I got to go with, first off, my special guest, Kevan Arnold. Kevin, give me your offensive Dog of the Week.
I got to go with the guy we had just talked about, Greedy Williams. Are you on offensive dog of the week, you said?
Offensive, please.
Offensive dog of the week it's got to be Kareem Hunt. I mean, the play that's just playing in my head. How often do you see teams convert on 3rd and 20, 4th and 20 on that draw play when they're just trying to get a little bit more breathing room, push their punter further up so they can kind of pin the team back, but also just he's always around. He's getting open. I hate that miss in the end zone from Baker to Kareem Hunt, but he wouldn't be denied. He got in the end zone, and once he saw that lane, converted that 3rd and 20, I got to give it to my boy Kareem Hunt, right down the street at Willoughby South.
All right, Norman, are you still with us?
Oh, yeah.
Offensive dog of the week, brother.
Well, I'm going to go with the other – sorry for the light. I'm going to go with the other running back. Chubb, because he finally notched 100 yards.
First time in a while. That was one of our trivia questions that we had on Legal Ham. It was back in the Pittsburgh game, not the playoff game, since one of our running backs hit over 100 yards. So it's been a while.
Yes, and he didn't do it all in huge chunks, except for maybe one run. But it was just the fact that he kept carrying people through the tackles consistently, and he actually still leads the league in yards after contact. And I think Hunt is close behind him. If he's not second, he's at least fourth. So Hunt was the first one selected. I'm going to pick Chubb for my offensive.
All right, Justin, what about you, bud?
I'm going to go with McLaughlin.
You're going with the kicker?
I'm going with the kicker.
That boy.
We got to show him some love.
Got to show the kicker some love.
That's right. I mean, I was looking up stats. I mean, 53 yards.
Hey, that doesn't grow with trees, right?
Right.
Good choice.
All right, Manny, what about you?
Justin, Norman, you guys took my first 2 picks there. Chase McLaughlin, I was talking about it on Twitter that I'm going to get a jersey. I got to get a custom jersey made for it. We finally got ourselves a kicker, 2 for 2 on field goals. It's so nice to be able to have somebody that you trust there kicking that football. But I'm going to give it a shout out to Rashard Hollywood Higgins. 4 catches, 63 yards. Just to be a little bit different from the crowd here, but it's very nice picking up for an injured Landry. We missed Juice, but having him be able to be reliable and catching some footballs it's great to see. So absolutely shout out to Chubb for the 100 yards. Kareem Hunt did a fantastic job in the backfield, spinning like the Tasmanian devil he is. And Chase McLaughlin, shout out to you for just being the kicker for that Cleveland needs. And but I do want to give a shout out to Hollywood Higgins.
My offensive dog of the week. I'm bringing this up because he's trying to fill shoes that are so hard to fill. Jedrick Wills, for coming out on one leg for the past 2 weeks and try to make it through a game to be the solid left tackle that he is, to watch him come off that field, throw down his helmet, knowing that he's hurt, even though he tried to go out there and gut one out for the team. But you earn my offensive dog of the week because what you guys do in that offensive line, nobody will ever understand the amount of pain and punishment you guys go through. I mean, J.C. Treader doesn't even practice anymore. He just shows up for the games and just snaps the ball. Am I right, Kevin?
Yeah.
That's all he does.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Joe Thomas did for years. He just showed up, played left tackle. I mean, so, buddy, get healthy. Hopefully the MRI came back okay. Get healthy, come back to us. We are behind you 100% because you have played your ass off for us as a rookie, and now in your second year, you're hurt. I know you're hurt, but, buddy, there's a point in time where you got to go like this. I got to get right before I come back. And I think this might be the point in time because you cannot keep coming out at halftime. If you are not good to go for the full game, I need you to take a step back. So we are going into our defensive dog of the week, and we will go back to Kevin. Kevin, your defensive dog of the week.
Like I said, Greedy Williams, you got to feel for the guy getting through that nerve issue, being able to get back on the field. And now with his first career interception, stepping up when the team needed him. Now, all of those things we talked about during the offseason, what this defense could look like with Greedy coming back, with Grant Delpit coming back, the rotations in that back end, the rotation on the defensive line, the linebackers with JOK have shown through. Now with Greedy Williams getting his confidence back, I am getting goosebumps thinking about how good this defense can still be. John Johnson III said, we haven't hit our stride yet. That is scary for what we have seen the last 2 weeks and how quickly they came together chemistry-wise.
All right, Norman, your defensive dog of the week.
Well, Greedy, obviously, low-hanging fruit because that's who I had on my mind because he went through a whole year in the offseason, and all I kept seeing from these flaky fans was he's a bum. Trade him. He is hurt too much. Blah, blah this. Blah, blah that. We don't need him. And then he comes out and balls out. I bet you can't find one of those people who was talking trash about Greedy anywhere online. They probably
I'm one of those people.
They probably coming up clapping and cheering for him right now.
Hey.
But I guarantee you, they was out there talking trash on that man. So I say put some respect on Greedy's name because he balled out. So I agree with you on that pick. But the one I want to pick from the Axe and Smash brothers of the defensive line in Cleveland is not the senior McDowell, but the younger McDowell. I got a chance to see some cut-ups of his plays against the Vikings. This man is a human wrecking ball. I actually saw him take on 3 blockers. And he still harassed Cousins. He almost grabbed him and got him to the ground. He made Cousins miss his throw, though. 3 people in front of him. and they still can't keep him out of there. And you try to one-on-one block this guy, he destroys anything in front of him. He's like the Hulk.
I love it.
Oh, so that's my guy, the young
Malik McDowell. All right. So, Justin, what about you? You're a defensive player.
I'm going to go for Garrett. I mean, it's an easy call, but he's still carrying on the sacks. I mean, half a sack last week, with a couple tackles, 3 tackles. He's going to be in that backfield all year long.
I think after the Friday that the conversation that he had, and everybody's like, well, what about you? I think that kind of lit a fire in his ass, and he realizes it doesn't matter if 5 people block me, I got to get to the quarterback. So I agree with you, bud. All right. Manny, what about you?
I'm going to go JOK. 7 total tackles, 5 solo tackles. I would like to go the route of Myles Garrett as well. I mean, watching film on him is just insane. The havoc that he wreaks on the defensive line every week. He attracts so much attention. But JOK, just being a rookie, I mean, what a steal in the NFL draft. I cannot believe he fell to us in round 2, and we just scooped him right up. And as soon as I saw him, I knew him from Notre Dame, and I was like, oh, that guy is a workhorse. He's a monster. And just being able to have him there and get in those plays and how fast he is, watching the film on him, JOK is amazing. He's the real deal, and he's definitely my dog.
Ditto.
All right.
Yeah, it's a special. That's a special player for me because Grandpa's favorite college team now wreaking havoc on his favorite NFL team.
Yeah,
So,
I'm a huge JOK fan myself, and he's been lights out. The more he plays, the more plays he makes. Mm-hmm. This guy is intelligent. I remember, I think Andrew Berry and it was somebody else was watching him on the plane, and he was working out some kind of complex math problem. And I know they're like looking like, yeah, we got to keep this guy. We got to keep him. Okay, he's smart. He is smart. He's instinctive. He already thinks, like on that one play he had where the running back didn't come out to him. He was staying in the block. He had clear grass to the quarterback, and he just set himself in motion. And he got there at the same time as Myles Garrett did. He's making plays in the backfield. He's blowing up screens. I love this kid. Love him. I knew we hit gold when they went up for him to get him in the second round. I was so glad for that. So we got Newsome and we got him. That's like 2 first-round picks.
We got smart people bringing in smart people and making smart football plays. That's all.
So my defensive dog of the week is the other second rounder that we completely forgot about, Grant Delpit. That kid is unreal. And like you guys are saying, the front office have just picked out some. That kid was a first-round talent, and not like a little bit first-round talent. He was top 10 talent when he was supposed to come out as a junior. He went back to LSU, played hurt, then tears his Achilles right before the season begins, is out another season, and comes back with the same football instincts that he had at LSU. I watched one of the drag routes on Minnesota that Jake Burns threw up. Did you see that, Kevin?
I did, yeah.
So this little drag route, just to know what route was run, he thought he was going to get beat deep. And he goes, nope, that guy's crossing down below. He actually laid himself out in front of that guy to break up that pass block. Unreal, the instincts on this kid. And the pop on him, too, because the 1 3rd down that the Vikings got there at the end of the game, Delpit put a hit on that guy. I don't even know how he held on to the ball and it was a legit hit. It wasn't helmet. It wasn't anything else. It was shoulder to the left kidney, and I'm surprised that guy held on to the ball. So, on that note, guys, I'm going to have to kick you out of here because we're getting close to the end. Give me a quick predict against the Chargers, if you guys could, please. So let me go. Justin, give me your quick predict against the Chargers.
Oh, really? I think Chargers are going to pull that off. So I'm saying Garrett and JOK screw things up for them all day long.
All right, you got a score?
21-12.
21-12. All right, thank you for joining, bud. I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, later, man.
See you, bud. All right, Norman, what about you, big guy? What do you got for the score?
I think the Browns win it, and I'm going with 24-17.
24-17 Browns. Bud, happy birthday. Thank you for joining, bud. By the
Thank
way,
you.
keep an eye out for Fatty's Hot Seat. You're going to love it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
All right. Danny, my man. All
So,
right. So, first off, where are you from?
I'm from Souderton, Pennsylvania, like the greater Philadelphia area. So surrounded by Eagles fans over here, but I'm a
Okay.
Browns fan.
First off, thank you for joining the show. You're a new face to us. Thank you so much for joining the show. I hope you had fun.
I had so much fun. I'm going to do this again for sure. Talk some Browns.
All right. So your score against the Chargers.
Yeah, so I have a 28-25 final Browns win. For the past 4 games, the opponents have drove right down the field in the very first drive and scored a touchdown. I believe that we're going to come out, Chargers are going to come out firing. I do believe, though, Baker Mayfield's going to connect on some of those passes that he missed last game. He's going to watch film. He's going to be upset about it. He does have a little rivalry with any other young court QBs out there. And I forgot who I heard it from earlier today, but he plays very well versus other good quarterbacks. So I do believe it's going to be a shootout. But by the time third, fourth quarter runs around, you're going to see that defense start to lock down. So I do believe the Browns will pull this out 28-25, very close game.
All right. Once again, bud, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. We will see you next time. All right. It's just me and you, big fella. All right. Do you want me to go first to break people's hearts?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this game scares me. It's always scared me as soon as I saw it on the chart. And you know something, I gotta be true, even though I am a huge Browns fan, I gotta be true to what I picked beforehand. And I thought they can't go 17-0. That's just not plausible anymore. I picked the Los Angeles Chargers to win this game 31-24. The only reason why is because, yes, offense, running game, and defense show up, but you are also heading out to the West Coast. You are playing at, I think it's a 4 o'clock game, right?
Yeah.
4 o'clock game. This team has scared me. This has been my sneaky team for the entire year because of the way they played last year. And I think this team is a legitimate team to be contended with. And this is also, let's just put it this way, this is the Minnesota Vikings of, the AFC because they can take some chunks out of people. I don't want to pick this pick. People are probably going to roast me for it, and I'm okay with that. But I picked the Chargers to win this one. I think this is the one that the Browns lose and kind of regroup when they come back home next week. What about you, bud?
You know, it's always tough for me to make predictions, but you're going to see throughout the week that no matter how good the Chargers really are, there's going to be people that just kind of push it to the side. And I love those Browns fans. I love reading that on Browns Twitter all the time, but you got to be realistic. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs are at the bottom of their division right now, but early in the season, you have to beat them if you're going to win the AFC this year. Somehow, some way, you're going to have to take them out in the playoffs, not just in the regular season. But then they just beat another undefeated team in the Las Vegas Raiders. Whether they're for real or not, they're a good team coming into that game. That breeds confidence. It's contagious in those kind of locker rooms. Both teams are coming in off of good wins. The Browns off a road win. Now, Chargers on a short week. This is one that's been scaring me since I saw it come out as well. Going out to that West Coast, I'm gonna have to go with you, Fatty. 28-24 Chargers, and I hope that I'm wrong. Trust me. Anybody can roast me. Don't care. You got my @sign @Kevan7. I don't care. You can roast me because I cheer to be wrong. I picked the Chiefs to win week 1 because the Browns haven't won week 1 yet. I was cheering to be wrong. I was right, and I don't like it. I don't like doing this, but again, got to take those orange and brown colored glasses off. This could be a tough one, and if they win, they are going to win a grind them out type game. Just going to need a little bit more offense in this kind of game with that confidence on Justin Herbert and the Chargers side.
Yeah, when I looked at these 3 weeks coming up with Minnesota, Chargers, and Cardinals, after what I saw last year from all three teams, this is a tough stretch. After this, we'll see what happens. But I think these 3 games are the 3 games that let you know what kind of a Browns team you got. Because Kansas City, week 1's a coin flip.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
But you went out, you beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, the Texans and the Bears. You stole one from Minnesota, even though you played like shit. And we didn't even get into Baker playing like shit, which I will get into here in a little bit. But you have those 3 wins, which one was gifted to you on the road. And now you're going into away and then Arizona coming to you. So it's going to be interesting, these next few games that they got.
Yeah, this team needs to win one of these next 2 at least. If they win both, great. You can't lose both. You got to beat either Arizona or LA, 2 really good teams. The one on the road could really do a lot, but if not, you come home. Arizona is going to be no pushover either. The last undefeated team in the NFL. One of these next 2 you have to get.
They're going to thump Arizona. It's back for butts. You cannot piss on back for butts. All right? I'm going to be there eating super mac and cheese, regular mac and cheese. I'm going to be stuffed to my gills with mac and cheese, and they will win that.
Yeah, eat something for me too, because I can't eat that anymore.
I know.
Oh,
and you know the thing is though, is we haven't given away any of the prizes, and nobody's commented on it. So if you guys would like to go to the Mac for Butts tailgate with me, 3 spots right now before I get into Fatty's hot seat. So you guys better start clicking stuff in, because if not, the money's going to donate anyways, and I might find somebody else to go with. I mean, I know I can't take Kevin because he doesn't like dairy, lactose.
I don't. My body doesn't like it. I like it. My body does not like lactose or gluten anymore, and it pains me every single day.
You know what's really weird? Eric from Top Dog Tailgate keeps putting out these different mac and cheeses, and one of them was like a balsamic mushroom and and I was looking at it and I'm like, man, I'm going to be the guy sitting in the corner with just one tray of mac and cheese, and everybody's going to be looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I already found my winner. Leave me alone. You guys keep judging.
This is a weird comparison, but all I can see in my mind right now is a scene from the Jim Carrey Grinch Who Stole Christmas, where he is the cheermeister. He goes in the chair of cheer. He's being bounced up and down, but he's eating fudge. He's eating all eggnog and everything. His belly's rising. He's like, come on, go to it. It's all you got. That's gonna be you.
Trust me, I know. Oh, wow, we got a comment here.
Oh.
Bus with one of those next 3 games. I agree, Jared. Manny, I know you're in Pennsylvania. If you're coming for the Arizona game here in Cleveland,
spot's yours, buddy.
Spot's yours. And guess what? Since this is the first time you came on the Dog's table, you can come sit with me and judge the mac and cheese contest. So, you have your choice, bud. As I'm getting ready to get into Fatty's hot seat, and Kevin, I cannot wait to do this.
Oh boy,
I have been just stewing over this for about 2 days, because I took a second Monday, took a second Sunday night. And I'm like, you know something? I'm just going to let this fester in my little belly, and let's get into it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Kevin, I'm going to keep you on here just to see your reaction to this, because normally I just go solo for this. But you know something? For Fatty's hot seat, and I'm going to actually say this and try to be somewhat professional about it. Because, yeah, I mean, we're trying to be professional, right?
Trying.
Trying. But
I'll be professional. I'll listen.
okay. So, Baker, I need you to do me a favor, bud. I need you to take whatever stick is in your ass right now and looking downfield and not taking what's in front of you and take it out. I want the Oklahoma Baker Mayfield, the one that grabbed certain areas during Kansas because somebody talked to him. I want the gunslinger. I want the guy that is not afraid of anything. Because I even mentioned it today in a tweet that I sent out to ESPN Cleveland. I think he's overthinking everything. I think he's overthinking what he's doing with Odell. I think he's overthinking everything. And you know something? He might be hurt. But I understand. But to miss wide open throws that I've seen you make at Oklahoma with Hugh Jackson, with Freddie Kitchens. Are you shitting me right now? You had Odell wide the hell open, and you threw it behind him and in front of him. You had Demetric Felton wide the hell open, and you had no touch. You had Schwartz, who burned his guys, wide the hell open. This is not an offensive thing. This is a you thing that you got to figure out right now. And I want you to grow some balls and start slinging it. Because you slinging it, you were perfect pretty much in the Kansas City game with the exception of one interception. You had, what, 2 incompletions? Houston's right after that. How many incompletions did he have after that? Not many. But it was like as soon as your shiny new toy came back, you wanted to look downfield and just wanted to just stretch the field all you can. You can stretch the field. You have 3 tight ends that are capable of making something happen. You have the best 2 running backs in the National Football League. The best play that you could do is a screen to Kareem Hunt because you know he's going to go for 40. You also have a scat back in Demetric Felton, who, by the way, can still actually scoot and actually scored a touchdown when Jarvis went out, right? The only thing that's not there is Jarvis Landry. If it's Jarvis Landry that you need, let's get Juice back. But I don't think you need him. Follow the system. Hit the guys that are open because that throw that I watched you make to Odell that you threw in front of him because you thought he was going to stop, you got to be shitting me. He was wide open. There was nobody within 10 yards of him. I don't care if he stopped or not. You should hit him in the back of the helmet with that throw if he didn't turn around and look at it. That's where we're at right now. I need you to be better. You want to know why? Because I put my stake on you with my friends, my family. I'm nobody. But I said they're going to draft Baker Mayfield first. Baker Mayfield is going to be the person to take this team to the championship. Baker Mayfield is going to be this person to win Cleveland Browns their first Super Bowl. And right now, starting out, it looked that way. Last year, last 8 games, it looked that way. Right now, it's not looking that way. I need you to get right, bud, because this team needs you to be right. Okay. Am I right?
You're
Was
right.
that a good hot seat? Was that a good hot seat?
That was a great hot seat because we need the Baker Mayfield that planted the flag at Ohio State. We need that guy. Go plant the flag, bring the lightning because you know that shuts down SoFi Stadium. So shut it down, plant the flag. We don't need no Trent Dilfer. We need Baker, you know what, Mayfield out there on the field, and let's get it done.
Oh my God, here we go. Here we go. That's one of the next 3. I agree, Jared. 100% agree. Love this take. It's not that often I get fired up on Fatty's hot seat, but this one I had to get fired up on because that throw.
I'm like, ready to go.
But I had so many people, because I played pool that week, I had so many people going, what the hell's Odell doing? I'm like, what the hell do you mean? Odell's wide the hell? I can't use certain language. Odell's open, and Baker missed him. Baker missed 3 open ones. That game could have been completely blown the hell out if he would have hit at least that 4th and 5 that he missed Odell. That could have changed the game. You know something? If it was Old Browns, and I didn't bring this up with everybody else on, Old Browns would have lost that game.
Yes.
Absolutely guaranteed, especially when Minnesota got down to where they were in sort of Hail Mary mode.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that, Baker. You can't do that on 4th and 5 with somebody wide open. It might have been a miscommunication. I might be blowing this completely out of proportion. But I've watched you hit people in tighter coverage than what that was. Like, Odell turned around and was like, what the hell's going on? Like, it's short. Like, Little John could have caught that ball. That's how fucking short behind it was. Like,
I'm just gonna say one last thing. He talked after about how thankful he was that the defense saved his ass and that he's got those 2 great running backs to save their ass. You know what, Baker? Time for you to go save their ass. Show us you can be that guy. Throw for 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns, whatever you need to do. Hit Odell, hit Hooper, hit all of them, and just ball out. They're going to talk all about Justin Herbert. Go show them who Baker Mayfield really is.
all right. Well, Kevin, on that note, I got to calm down because I have to be at work early in the morning.
So do I.
You know what's so horrible about this? I got to be up before the sun comes up. I'm just sitting there like, I just want to tear stuff up right now. I'm going to go downstairs. My kids are sleeping. I'm probably going to wake them up just because of this show. All right. So, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a blast. Stick around for a second, all right, please?
I got you. I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
This is the Dawg's Table, and like I said, we are fans. We, as you can hear from Fatty's hot seat, I'm a huge fan. I love Cleveland, and this is my home now, and I can't say it enough. But guess what, guys? I need you guys to be better. And as we say at the end of every show, go Browns.